Okay.
Okay, hi guys, you are welcome back to Significant Woman. Today I have amazing friends. Please forgive our audio. We are in a public place. We are here for a conference and we are women in digital. So today we wanted to just have a conversation about fears that we always have, or those insecurities that we have that stop us from coming online and just showing up online, having digital presence. So I'm going to request my dear friends to introduce themselves and then just join us as we have this conversation together. So I'll start with this beautiful lady here. She'll tell you who she is.
Hi everyone, I'm called Amono Patience.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, this is Patience. Then
Hi, I'm Faith Letasi, married, stay-home mom, educator, digital missionary, and all those things.
yeah, Faith is so many things. And then Vivian, wait for Vivian. She's more of many things.
Oh wow. Thank you so much, Edith. My name is Vivian Nabulumba. I am a poet, spoken word artist, a host for events, both online and in physical spaces. I am a land surveyor by profession, and a digital enthusiast and a data analyst.
Okay. So one of the things that keeps on coming out is that these guys are digital in one way or another. They are going to tell us, do you guys have any digital presence online? Are you on any social media platforms? Vivian says she's a poet.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, of course. We live in a digital age, which means you have to be online where you can be able to reach your audience. I am on all the major social media platforms, Twitter, X, Instagram, Facebook. But you know, Facebook is like for old people. Yeah, but also WhatsApp, and also the professional one, which is LinkedIn. Yeah.
Okay. So how about Faith? Before I ask her again another question.
So I really just want to talk about WhatsApp because it's the one where I'm active. I've had all these accounts on YouTube, on Twitter, now X, on Facebook, but I'm not really active, like even TikTok and Instagram, but like I don't post there, and I think that's a conversation that we are going to have. Why am I not posting?
Yeah. How about you, Fish?
Yeah, actually me, I'm on different platforms, but just like she said of like not being active. I think the one I'm most active on is WhatsApp.
WhatsApp.
That I've been somehow utilizing. Others I'm having accounts, but there is that cuff here and I'm like, if I'm to do something, what will happen next? So
Yeah.
I always play in the background, and Facebook have been there, but after sometimes, just like the way she said it's for old people, I found myself out and I had to exit, and I'm not in Facebook. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe we need to just talk about that because I don't know about Vivian. Vivian, are you active? Because there is you being on all these and you find you're more of a consumer, 95%, not a creator.
I wouldn't say I'm a creator. I like just to share my journeys and experiences. For example, on X, we have a Twitter space that happens every other Monday at the end of every month. Just where we get together to share poetry and talk about the Jesus Christ and basically the Christian faith through poetry and how we can impact there. Then I'm very active on Instagram. I feel like it's my space. That's why I post most of my anything that's going on, really, anything that is significant to my growth as an artist. And yeah, my main LinkedIn, I'm looking for work, so I have to show how I'm growing. And yes, also my WhatsApp is very, very active. While I linked my Instagram to my Facebook, I'm not very, very active on Facebook, and I don't have a TikTok account. I have it, but it's like just there.
Waiting for the right moment to be.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I want to now hear from Faye. What are some of the fears that you've had? Some of those things that you've had that have stopped you from being active on these other social media platforms you have?
First off, I will go with appearance. I think when I look at all these ladies that, or people, or spaces, or whatever that I'm following, and it's on Instagram, or YouTube, people look so polished, people are recording maybe in hotels, or like their houses look so bougie, and I'm thinking like that's just that constant comparing of yourself. And I know that as a Christian, I went for camp when I was around 14, 16, and we had to memorize Psalm 199. And so it's very exciting to be there and be, oh, you're fearfully and wonderfully made, but like there's that esteem thing, I could stand up and be like, oh, I have high self-esteem. But in the moment of truth will come when I'm thinking about I'm not beautiful enough, maybe my hair is not well enough, my clothes are not bougie enough. Like just that constant comparing myself. I just don't feel like this face was made for the screen, for the camera, for the rest of the world to consume. That really keeps me back.
Okay. And maybe I could hear from others. What do you think? How do you think? Do you think that's the truth, or it's just a myth, Lydia?
Well, it feels like social media has like its own alternate reality, and it has standards that are set for each of for people to be able to actually consume your content. You have to appear and look a certain way for them to actually relate with what you're doing, because
we have someone who just came in our show. Okay, continue.
So while we shouldn't compare, but it's not something you can run away from. Like even me, like I'll take like a bunch of photos on an event and I'm like posting 2 pictures of that, and then they're like other really great pictures that actually capture the moment, but you're like, no, I didn't look good in this one, so I'm not actually gonna post this. So it's how you look at yourself is very important, but also every day we are constantly being influenced by what is outside, what is trending, and we always somehow, even if you unintentionally want to, you fall to the status quo. So I relate to that fear because I experienced it.
And you know what, when you were sharing it, my mind just flashed like how we are right now. Just look at our setup. Our setup, how we are dressed. I didn't even think about what I'm supposed to put on. Like, okay, how am I going to appear and all that? But we are just here in our normal clothes, no makeup really, with a funny background and everything. But you never know, someone might watch this video or will watch this video and they get inspired in a way. So I always think that yes, there is a whole bit of I can't appear untidy. But with whatever God has given me, I just have to have faith. Then when deep down there is that whole feeling of Edith, that hair. There was a time when I did that video, guys, my hair I think had like dust, it had like outgrown itself, and I even talked about it in that video. I first thought, do I need, and then I know I have to be consistent. I said, you know what, I'm going to appear, I'll try to make it no comb and what, but just appear. And actually I talked about it and referred to it in my video, and somehow it liberates. I think we just have to get out in faith. Even sometimes when we are really scared, we try our best to look the best we can. But just show up, because God didn't make a mistake to make me how I look. And what I have, I can still use it. I know it's difficult, but I've faced it also sometimes when I doubt myself. But I've said, look, I'll just go there, closer to being real as much as I can, How about you, Pesh? Any fears?
A lot. A lot, sweetheart. Actually, I don't think I'll unpack them all. Let me start from our point of view. Personally, I always judge myself. Like, I take a lot of videos. If you check my phone, you will see a lot of videos, but the fear comes in. I'm like, if I'm to post, what will people think about? What will people think about? Are they even going to like my pics? Like, are they going to like my video? Is someone really going to view it? And I'm like, maybe I'm not worthy for the outside world. Maybe I'm just meant for my secret life. And I take videos, I enjoy it myself. And sometimes when a friend gets access to my phone, like one time a friend borrowed my phone and she wanted, I think, to do something. Then she came across a certain video. She was like, girl, so you also take videos? I didn't know you also do this kind of things. And I'm like, I do it, but when I'm alone, because actually, when I'm in the office, I first lock the door from inside. I close the window. I put on the light so that no one should peep and no one should really check in. And I feel when I'm alone, I have that confidence. But when I go out there, actually, I can speak. But now when it comes to media, I'm like, there are people I think who are more beautiful than me. There are people who have nice phones than me. There are people who have nice cameras than me. People have good background, and I'm like, now me. And actually, also there is this thing I used to think, like, there is a way people look at Northerners. By the way, I'm naturally from Northern Uganda. Yeah, so I'm like, for us from that side, like,
We are black.
we are like the brothers and the sisters of. So I'm like, what am I going to even present to the world? Okay, there is a way we always look at ourselves, as in, ladies are not supposed to be out there. You as a lady, you're supposed to be indoor, make sure the home is good, make sure like everything. So you look at yourself like, I'm not meant for the outside world. I'm meant to take care of the home. But now, when I go online and there is a video one time I came across, and this lady was really looking like, actually she was dressing so funny, but she had like 30K views. I'm like, I think I can do better than this. Yeah. Actually, this lady, she's called Agnes. She's a Nigerian, I think. There is she likes always singing, but the way she dresses, she really does it in a funny way, and you're like, I think she has no clothes. But trust me, I realized it wasn't about the outside appearance. It's about what you have inside and about what you're giving to the world, the content you have and what you're bringing out. Somehow, somewhere, it encouraged me. But trust me, when I went into my closet, there is that little voice that came back, girl, you can't do this.
Don't do this.
You will do it tomorrow. Yeah, you will do it tomorrow. And tomorrow kept on coming coming. And trust me, I kept that until when I met Edith and I met Faith. I saw when they were presenting and I'm like, wow. I love these girls. And actually, Vivian, I even came to her and I'm like, girl, I love your voice. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, so I really like your first presentation. I just fell in love. I was like, I think I can link up with these guys. I've never shared this fear with anyone. By the way, it's my first time. So I'm like, I think these girls can help me out because I see as if we're in the same age group. That's when I had to approach Edith. I'm like, girl, I need your time. I want to share something with you. And I tried sharing with her. And I thank God Faith came in. And trust me, they encouraged me. Actually, after talking to them, I felt so energized. And I'm like, I think I'm going to do. And
Make sure that small voice doesn't come.
That one of better tomorrow, when you just go to the salon, when you just bought a new dress, when you just...
Actually, what I did immediately, I remember like checking in my account of TikTok, because I remember I posted like a video once. I never checked it until when I was with those of Edith, because I had that fear. I'm like, what am I going to get? Do you really think someone has liked it? Do you really think someone has? And to my surprise, there was 73 likes. I'm like, where are these people coming from? So actually, when I showed you guys yesterday, trust me, it was my first time, and I'm like, wow. So this thing works. And I realized that if I posted that with all the fears and I got 73 likes, about now when I step on that little voice that keeps discouraging me, and I make it with confidence and I take it to the world, what is really going to come out? I think the 73 might triple itself, or so I felt so encouraged. And yesterday when Vivian was giving the poem, oh my God, I died twice. I died twice and resurrected. Actually, I recorded that from the very step when she was just entering. I just loved the vibe and was like, this girl matches my energy. But of course, I couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't come with it out. I took every moment, and taking a video when you're smiling, you're not even looking at the person, but you're smiling, and I was like, wow, this is worth it. Afterwards, I had to go on my status and I posted it. Yeah, I posted the video and I shared with some friends also. So actually, that video at night, I watched it like 3 times. I felt wow. Yeah, so there is a way, I think, when you speak out your fears, there is a way you can tackle it other than bottling it up like the way I've been doing. I think if I was to keep doing it, I would be actually I was the only audience to myself. Now when Faith and Edith told me yesterday, you know what? We shall be now like 3 people. When you post a video, we shall be 3. I'm like, okay, so I have 3. So now Vivian is here, we are 4. So
Yeah, those are
awesome.
You can count on those ones.
So
I think, unless there are any other fears that we need to bring out, any other fears that we think are still there?
Maybe the followers thing, like wanting to. You feel like you don't have enough following to actually cause an impact, which is extremely scary. Like when you look at people who have 30K views, like the lady was saying, their followers, they're like the people who follow them are really many. So you're thinking, when will I ever get there? Right? Like when do I even how do I begin a YouTube video and I mean like a YouTube channel and
comparing yourself to Mr. Beast who has
like
how many million, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of followers.
And for an artist it's actually quite scary. It feels like your voice is not being heard. It feels like you're not relevant in any space. But I got inspired today morning when Auntie Lita was like, guys, I only have one person to like 600 followers. I'm like, wait, this thing just began yesterday. Like, how did it get here? So it's really encouraging that when you start, there's always somebody out there who is looking to just relate to what you're sharing. So I don't think we should be scared of how many followers we have. That one person is, as in, treat them like they're significant. Treat them like they matter, like that view they have given, that like they have given you, they like what you're doing, you encourage them, so you show up for them, for that one person, for those 2 people, for those 73 people.
I think that's very, very true, because many people are, and for us who are like, if you want to do real impact, you're not just posting away, because you can do anything to get followers. Anything funny, anything entertaining, people are going to follow you, get the subscribers, get the followers. But for you, when sometimes you're really straight, and yet you really, really want the followers, it feels good to know that people are viewing, people are commenting, and people are subscribing. But I really don't know what we can do to just break free from these from these fears that we have. Because like she has said, I will talk like how we're talking, but then somehow the feeling comes back, that a small voice comes back, and then you go back. What do you think we need to do to keep ourselves like ahead of our fears? To know, well, it is not about the views, it's not about the followers, the subscribers, it's not about how I look, it's not about what sometimes people are going to really abuse you. What can we do to just keep saying and ensure that these fears don't really hold us back?
I remember something that we had at like the very first Digital Champions training that we had, and Jonathan Nyeroto talked about, don't post because you want your video to go viral. I think because constantly the feeds we have are the things that go viral. There are people that I follow on YouTube, when they say like Thursday night we are dropping a video, and in 5 hours, 6 hours, it's 4.5 million views already, and you're thinking, wow, or like all these like viral videos, that will go around and make the rounds. And so for me, I think what changed my perspective really about coming out on social media as a Christian, like just like the conversations around the women in digital is this is where I'm going to influence, online is where I'm having my Matthew 28 18 to 19 moment. So for me, somehow that has liberated me. For the videos that I've shot and put out there, because of the constant the voices in my head, I don't edit. So what I do is what I put out there. My husband is gracious enough that sometimes he'll step in, But even him, he has, because like the whole striving for perfectionism and holds so many of us
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
And I think I have consciously started rubbing like that label out of myself to say, for me, I want things to be perfect.
Perfect.
And then because when you are a perfectionist, it will never really be perfect enough. So I'm trying to just come at it from like, well, this God is God looking for a perfectionist out of faith. He's not, and that has really helped me cut through the mental barrier of being able to come online.
It's amazing.
Actually, personally, let me add also something little. I realized that the way we can somehow overcome that, as in me as patients, okay, what I internalize at night. Actually, I sent a link, I think at around 3, 2 a.m.
Coming like
You are
10 minutes
thinking
to
the whole
3.
I was like deep. I'm like, going to check on. I was checking on videos one after another in my gallery, and I'm like, I think I can do this. I think there is something, there is a potential in me that my world is waiting for, my generation is waiting for. There is a destiny, there is a the mercy of me standing out and overcoming this small voice within me. So I realized that, sometimes when you see those likes, like those other people with a lot of views, I think that is their part of ministration. And I think comparing myself with them, it's not really going to add up. Why? Because for them, they're acting in their office. So I think instead of me comparing myself with them, I should work on mine. I should build mine. It doesn't matter how long it's going to take, but like she talked of perfection, I think I shouldn't look at perfection, but I should look at progress. That every day I'm trying. Am I taking a step forward? Or I'm in the same level, or I'm going behind. I think I shouldn't look at I should look at myself becoming better every day. And actually, yesterday when we shared and you talked of those 72 likes, there is something, them liking, there is a message they got out of what you posted. So, and you are like, there are people who even come, they don't like, but they have taken something. Yeah, there is a message that has remained. Just like when a word is spoken, it's a seed that has been sown. Even if with time, trust me, it's going to sprout out. So I realize that I may be posting, someone may not be liking, but trust me, there is that one out of 99 who will be built through the messages I'm bringing out. It may not be for everyone, because I realize that actually some I realize that the exciting one is the one that comes for everyone. But the one which is meant for destiny, it will always locate the ones who are meant for. And so if I keep on doing that, I may not know the ones who are getting it, but I believe that work, it would be left for the Holy Spirit to do his part. Yeah, so I think I should believe in myself. I should put in knowing that I should progress every day but not run into perfection, and just be myself. Like just do it myself, not trying to say like I need to put on makeup, I need to put on this kind of clothes, I need to go to this hotel and maybe do it from there. I should just be myself and then bring what the Lord has deposited in me out to my generation. And I think the baton will be given out. Yeah. So I think that's what I can share a bit.
Okay, but thank you so much. We have like 20 something minutes. We'll just conclude from here. But one of the things that I always encourage people to do, like even Vivian, for you already have a presence online. I always tell people to use their presence online to point people to Jesus.
Yeah.
You don't have to preach. You don't have to quote scripture all the time, but someone should be able to look at you. Even the video you posted, I think you were singing the songs or something.
Yeah, I was singing my
People
language.
should be able to look at you and say, they just think about Jesus. It somehow pushes them and points them to that direction of there is a Jesus there that you need to experience. So I just need to, at least for Vivian, you're already there. I just want to ask only Patience and maybe Faith briefly to share after our experience here. What are you going to do differently?
Personally, actually, you told me to download, is it UCAT?
Yeah,
I did it at night. And
tonight.
wow, actually, this night, it was a night of the beginning from my side. So I downloaded it. Actually, I tried like starting to work on some videos, but I think I didn't succeed. And what I'm going to work on, I don't want to first go like to start now going out there. I want to first nourish that inner thing in me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to work on that inner thing in me such that when I bring something out, I bring the reality. I don't just bring something that I don't do because I want to impress someone, but I bring the real life. That every word that I will speak, it will give life to someone out there. And then when they see me, they see the life of Christ in me. Yeah, so I think I'm going to work on that. And you told me about certain gadgets that I need to really trust me. I'm going to invest in these things. These things have to work. Why am I saying all this? Actually, I don't know. My passion is so much for the youth, and I've been thinking all along, how can I reach out? How can I reach to my fellow youths out there and present Christ to them in their little world that they understand themselves? Out of the youths that I always interact with, I have a boy. This guy is a born again. But one time he told me, was like, Patience, you know what? Me, I understand Jesus in a logic way. So if someone cannot explain Jesus to me in a logic way, trust me, there is no way you can get me out. And this is someone who is ever on phone, ever coding things here and there. And I'm like, how can I reach out to such a person? How can I reach out this youth who feels like in the real life, like when I'm with the born again, I should live like a born again, but when I go to the place of media, I should go to the other world such that I impress people. How can I reach them in their small little world of media and give them the confidence that they can also express Christ from wherever they are? They don't need to stand on the pulpit, get a Bible and read the scripture and talk to everyone. How can they really present Christ out there in their little world that they are in? Yeah, so I think that's what I'm working on, and trust me, the devil should wait for me. It's going to come out. Yeah.
How about you?
For me, I would say that having been here, I've really been challenged afresh to know that it's possible and find your missional gap. So for me, it's been a time of constantly through the trainings and everything. I've just been stirred up to just find a missional gap, and stick to it and live in my reality, of the life that I am living and embrace it and be and put it out there, you know, because when I feel like I am a missional gap, then that means the world has a missional gap, you know, for a stay-home mom, a home educator. That is my missional gap, and I think I'm just embracing that with the women. Can we share experiences? How can I share Christ? How can I be very intentional in the in the things that I'm putting out online to just start having conversations with people around what's going on with the intention of just drawing them to Christ, doing life together with people. You know, I'm not going to put out a video and someone is just going to sit in their living room and look for the sinner's prayer and say it, or maybe they could. But how about just finding people where they are and starting conversations that tell them either to get to know Christ or then to grow and be rooted in their relationship with Him.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vivian.
I actually get a lot from this conversation because so it feels like I'm out there, but I'm actually not.
Okay.
I have a lot of content. I have, yeah, and I remember my friend said, just shoot a video, you know, just post something on TikTok. I'm like, guys, I need to take it to studio.
I need a professional posting way. How much could posting cost?
Right? And then the weird things like when you have conversations with these producers and these guys are like asking for huge chunks of money, and maybe you want to set up your own studio or set up your own thing, and it still costs a lot of money. But I think, like you guys have shared, let's start where we are with what we have. Like Moses, you have a staff in your hand, you have a phone in your hand, use that for this time, because the point is that revelation, that content you have now, if you post it 2 years from now, if you post it 1 month from now, it's not going to be as relevant as when it first came to you. So like now is the time to be like Moses, to be like Joshua, to be like all those guys that God sent. It had a time bound, it had a time space, and I think we should understand there's an urgency for us to actually step out there and not hold ourselves back.
Thank you so much, ladies. I hope you are encouraged and you picked one or two things, and please you can share with us in the comment section. Tell us some of the fears you could be having, or just one or two things that you picked from our conversation. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in our next one. I hope we can do this more often. We'll see you in our next video. Bye.